And action. Hey guys, my name is Amrita.
I'm Dinara.
And I'm Amber, and today we're spilling the tea on
Age and sex representation within social media.
Yay.
Cheers! So first of all, let's maybe start with like age representation, right?
Yeah.
So how do you guys feel about like your experience watching TV, watching social media, watching like I feel there has been so much change with the age representation, like young people looking super old, older people looking super young, and you know, everything around it. It's been quite a ride. But how have you experienced it, like watching TV and series and social media through the years?
Well, I feel like it was a big problem when we were younger, because like we grew up with figures and we wanted to look like them, but we couldn't at the age we were. Like we would see like teenagers go to high school and do teenager things, but they would be like grown ups like between 25 and 30, which would make us think that that's how we need to act, that's how we need to be. That was a big problem. And on the topic of if it changed today, I don't think it changed that much actually. When you look at some like big Netflix series, it's like it's still quite old people playing teenagers, you know?
Yeah. And yeah, and even in the case of the appearance, it really affects people. Like, I even was kind of diagnosed, not kind of, I was diagnosed with an eating disorder. And it was all because I was seeing like adults playing, the roles of the minors, like with the beautiful body, developed bodies. And it's just like, in real life, not the case. And minors are really vulnerable audience, and just they're really susceptible to comparing themselves to them. So in my case, that was true. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's so horrible. Like that's like the perfect example of how like badly it can affect people and teenagers.
Exactly.
Because when I think about like Gossip Girl and Pretty Little Liars because I would look like watch Pretty Little Liars, and yeah, the actors would be like 25, 26, 27, playing like these 15 and 16-year-old girls. And honestly, it's super crazy like how it can affect you and how you look at yourself, you know. And if you start comparing yourself to it, like it's so unrealistic and not good.
Yeah, and it makes you
Really
feel
not
when,
like
because I think like we're seeing, so they have women develop bodies and everything, so well, they have breasts, they have curves and everything. And when you're a young woman and you haven't hit puberty yet and you're watching this thinking like that's what's going to appeal to other people, like it makes you sad, it makes you so sad. And that's what makes you develop like eating disorders and everything, as you said, Dinara. Like I had that too, and it's like so harmful in the end. You see someone who's like 21, who's in the Hollywood industry and everything, so they're perfect, and you're out here like thinking, am I supposed to look like this? That can be a
Exactly.
bit,
No acne, no pimples, ideal
yeah.
body.
You
Not
are
no, a
looking like
full-grown body. Like, girl, I'm 14 years
yeah,
old. Like,
literally.
we're in middle school. How is she looking like a
Yeah.
Kardashian? Like, I don't
Completely different.
understand.
And also, so it's still about age, but I don't know if you've seen like in most films, an older actor can be with like a younger actress, and that won't be seen as weird. But you never see an older woman in films be with a younger guy, with like the younger actor.
Yeah.
Actually, so you can pretend that like both actors are 40 and have like an older actor and a younger actress, but you can never have the opposite. That's also a thing with age.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I have written the article, if I'm not mistaken. What was it called? It was related to what you're saying, and it was just about like daddy issues, because people with daddy issues are more prominent in the industry and in the global scale in general, and that is why like majority of girls are picking like the man older than them, like, but not the opposite case. Yeah.
Yeah, and also like that's another thing, but Hollywood doesn't like older women. You know, like
Exactly.
any actor, they can become older and still be casted. A woman
Mhm.
in Hollywood, she's like at 30, she doesn't find good roles anymore, or she has to find
Yeah.
roles where she is like the older woman in the film.
Mhm. Treated like
You
a
know, like
product that's dead, like kind of expired product, like yeah,
yeah,
you had
exactly.
your
And that's why
time.
they want to look younger, and that's why they do everything to change their physique to look younger.
Even even in the case of the relationships and sex in general in movies, I feel it's so not true. Like if you compare to the real life, it's not that romantic, it's
It's
not that
totally
beautiful.
romanticized, like honestly, and it's so bad because that is a problem where we start putting so much pressure on like our personal love and sex life, because that's the
Yeah.
only thing you see. And for example, I think about how like love is always portrayed and how the guy always like goes to like this girl who works at a magazine and interrupts her in like this important meeting to tell her that he loves her and stuff, like all these
Yeah.
really crazy big gestures that are portrayed as like this is love, like this is romance, put
Mhm.
so much pressure on society today and on teenagers and millennials today. And also I really want to mention, like, okay, so we have this age, right? Like we have this age problem where people are represented by much older people in real life.
Mhm.
But also I feel, what's crazy, like these people who are represented and they're them being 30, or like, the whole pressure of like having your life together by 30.
Oh
And
yeah.
like, that is also like um an important influence in that kind of subject, is like TV and series kind of also play like a big role when there are of course series like today as well, like it's big, like it's now much better. For example, what's funny, that I read about like Friends. So Friends, like the sitcom from in the 90s, that was
Okay.
like kind of the first series where they would show like the audience a group of people that was actually struggling in their 20s, like that
Mm.
don't have their life together, that are like dating
Mhm.
around, that are not
Mhm.
married, that didn't buy a house. And it was the first time, and that was also the reason it became super popular, because people finally could feel like they could
Yeah, it
relate to
resonated
characters.
with the audience.
Yeah. And I think that's also super important to like take away that pressure of age being like, like these deadlines you need to reach, like by 25 I have to have this, like by 30 this, by 40 this, like. And like I feel that's also the cause of a lot of depression. Honestly,
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
in my age category and my generations, I could really see that,
Mhm. Yeah. Like just take your
It's even just,
time.
yeah, but I think like also the big thing is that you have to do well in life, in films, like that's what they tell you, because at the end of most films, like the main character, you see them struggling, like trying to do it, but they always end up like achieving their goal and like living their dream and everything. So I think that's also the big deal of like whether it's your age or not, that you have to make it in life and like actually achieve your goals and everything. I don't know if that was clear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I
it
know. Like
is.
in the
I think that
end, in
that's
the
one of
end,
the points.
yeah, like in the end they succeed, and that's like the
Mhm.
thing. Like maybe they will show the struggle, but it's not as like realistic. But it's also like how far, like how is it, like I don't know, and how much it's possible to show like the realistically, because the struggle, to reach your goal, it's gonna be like, you're gonna struggle so much,
Yeah.
and I don't, yeah, I know what you mean. You were kind of clear, yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, that kind of also influences people. I mean, really negatively because, they work hard and then in the end they will anyways achieve their goal. But in real life, it's not always the case. Even if though you work really hard,
Yeah.
it doesn't guarantee success. I mean, and then
Mm.
you're like, you were waiting for your success. You're working hard. You're like putting so much effort into something. You're really working your ass off, but you're not getting
Then
the
it,
result, the intended.
mm.
So that's, oh my God, that's
Yeah,
traumatizing.
Mm.
yeah, it is. It's really, but I feel like now it's getting better, honestly. Like you see so many more people and like in social media changing their careers in like when they're 30 or 40, and it's kind of being more normalized than it was before, because see like my brother who's like 30, and he's gonna be 31, but I saw like the difference between us, you know. Like, and it's crazy how much of a difference it is. Like he's only 6 years older than me, but like it's still like a really big difference in mentality, and how they like 30-year-old people still have that kind of that old mainstream mentality of like having a kid, like having kids, having a house, having a good career by the age of 30, or like 30, mid 30s. Well, I feel like our generation is more like, no, you can do whatever the hell you want to do as long as you're happy, as long as you make it work, as long as you're like healthy
Yeah.
and you're not hurting anyone around you. Like, but probably in the future it will be even better, but I do feel like it's coming up and there's like less pressure and people actually follow their own paths. Because I remember when I was studying, when I was in high school, and like the first time like I dropped out of college, like I was one of the few people, and like everyone would like look weird at me and be like, so, you know, because it was super normal to like just study in high school, and then you go to university and you do whatever the hell like everyone else around you is doing. Like no one was actually thinking about like, is this really what I want to do? Is this the path I want to follow for like the rest of my life, you know? So
Yeah.
I feel like now you can just change careers way more easily than before. You know, like before you do one job your entire life. Now you can do like multiple ones. You can change anytime you want, and people won't judge that as much as they did before.
yeah, that's true. And that's also super good, because honestly, like
I don't
it's
see myself doing the same job
exhausting.
for the whole
What?
life. Like I don't see myself doing just one job my whole life.
No.
You know, like just doing the same thing at least. I don't think you can do that and be like mentally healthy. You know, because
No.
then it would just be repeating yourself all the time.
Yeah, that's really
I don't know.
tedious. It's really
Only
tiring.
if you're like, you know, if you start your own business and you work like super hard towards like a goal, and then in the end, like you have people working for you, and you can like work less and less, you know. But for that, I feel like you really need a
You have to make
passion.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like in the past, people would, you know, dream of working in an office, having a stable work. Nowadays, the opposite is true. People are trying to work for themselves and do everything for themselves rather working for other person.
That's true. What do you want to do?
Me?
Do you see yourself? What do you see yourself working as?
I'm 18. I don't
Yeah.
have any plans. I don't know.
But you know, you never had like for, you know, when you started like
You
in
have
high
a
school,
dream
like
job?
even an unrealistic dream, you know, like it doesn't matter.
Unrealistic.
Just like, oh, I really wanted to be like,
Like a singer, or those
Yes,
are like,
I would like to be an artist, honestly. I would like
yeah.
to go to, you know, to travel to Korea and learn how to produce music, how to write lyrics and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so cool. Wow.
Uh,
Well, I hope
and
you do
you?
it. Because then I'll be like, oh my god, you know, I knew this girl. She was like amazing.
we
Now
did like
she's
a social media
just a
project
fake
together,
K-pop
guys. Don't get it
singer.
twisted. Like I know her.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. I want to be a filmmaker when I grow up. I mean, when I grow up, like soon, I hope.
Whoa, that's so
That's
cool.
cool. That's
Yeah.
super nice. I think
And
it's super
you?
important to have like, but for me, like, when I was little, I always wanted to be a singer. And like I always, when I was younger, when I was like 15 and 16, I would like go on YouTube and like make videos with my friends and stuff, and it would be so much fun. But then like, I don't know, I didn't do it anymore, which I regret a bit. But now like, I've been focusing on my music, and before I came to Korea, I got like a few songs produced in like a studio with a producer. But like
No way.
now, I like, it's a lot of, you know, it's a lot of
I-
money. Honestly, it's so much money. And now I try to like I tried like just writing an acoustic, play on my acoustic guitar.
Mm-mm.
And because the thing is, I went to in Korea, I tried to look up like these different circles where I could like perform in like bars and stuff. But and I went to a drag show, for example, and there I really wanted to go, but I just didn't have time. I was like with school and stuff. So now that I'm back, I'm also super excited to focus on my music again, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Wow,
but the thing
that's
is, that's like
cool.
a dream, but also like that's like the artist's dream. But then I also have like the more like
Realistic
but
one.
yeah, the realistic one is like more focused on like environmentally having a positive impact in the world, like working for like an NGO, a European project, and for like
Wow.
make the world a better place, you know, something like that.
Oh, that's so cool.
It's
That's
like
so cool.
vague, but it's normal. It's okay, you know.
Yeah.
It's
Just
but
I just wanted to say, like, I watched your covers on Instagram, Amrita, and you're really talented, like really
thank
talented. I
you.
mean
That's
it.
so nice. Thank you. That's
Oh my
really
God,
nice.
I'm gonna watch these at some point. Because I remember you saying in like the intro video that you were singing.
Yeah, and she
But
plays guitar like simultaneously, and it's just wow, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's you should both like follow your dreams, girl. No, I mean,
But the
it's
reality
so
is
nice.
hitting me.
Yeah, I know. But
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's so nice. Like, you have so many options. You have so many chances. Like, you know what's super important? I feel like I didn't like do much. Like when I was like 18, 19, like you should really look up people that also have like the same interests. For example, if you want to like produce music, like look up, like go into Facebook groups and whatever, and look up people who are also producing music and like link up with them and learn from them, you know, stuff like
Yeah.
that. Or like filmmakers, you go like to in the film festivals where you meet like little film directors that you can learn from, you know, like all these kind of little things that have a huge impact on you. And like then your unrealistic dream is kind of like getting more realistic because you're in the entourage of the like all these people who think like you and who also have the same dream. So that's like
Yeah.
super important. And yeah, so that's what I'm also trying to do a bit, but it's hard. Like networking is like the key, you know.
Yeah.
Mm.
And yeah.
That's a hard.
Okay, mommy, got your advice.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Excuse me? Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry. Mommy?
Oh, I'm the Ajma advice at your service. I swear.
That was good advice.
But it's true. It's really, I think, you know, we don't have a lot of time here. And honestly, with COVID going on, it's super like you don't know anything like what's gonna happen in the next year if you're gonna be locked up again in your house. Like, so you should really take advantage of it. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's super important.
Wow.
But also, you know, I'm like here now, and it's really hard because, you know, I have all these dreams, and like for example, when I go to Brussels, and then I'm like in a more artistic like people around me that are all like in culture and music and whatever and in dance. And but then I'm like here back in like my hometown, like where my boyfriend lives, like where I'm in my boyfriend's house, and it's like much more like you have to make choices a lot, you know, and you have to prioritize things that are important to you. And yeah, because
you
if you
can't
want to make
really.
it as an artist, you need to struggle. You're gonna struggle so hard. You're gonna like
Yeah.
yeah.
You
So
want
that's
to
why
do
it's
this, and society tells you to do this. Your
yeah.
financial part says to do this. It was just.
Yeah. So it's important, I think, maybe to have like a realistic job, like where you can work and just pay your rent and, you know, eat. And then next to that, you can like
Yeah.
have your artistic dream and like focus on that. But it's like if you combine these two, it's a lot of work. But if you really want it, you can make it work, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, guys, this was the part 1 of our 3rd episode, and we will upload the next part soon. Just stay tuned, follow, like, and all this fun stuff. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Bye.